The scrappy techniques I'm going to show you are going to use 3 basic sizes of fabric. I'm going to use long strips, some shorter strips, and even little tiny pieces of fabric. And now you'll see that mine aren't exactly the same length. So this is going to bring me to one of my first guidelines of improv piecing. And that is, if something's too small, you can add something to make it longer or bigger. And if something's too long, you can chop it down. So in this case, I'm just going to chop this down. And now I've got a little scrap that can go in there. Now I save pretty tiny scraps. Anything that's larger than 3/4 of an inch, I'm probably gonna save. Different quilters have different standards about how small of a piece they'll save. A lot of people say like 1 inch. You get to decide. But it's really fun to do things with these tiny pieces, so I hold on to them. Now I want you to think about just trusting your intuition. The next guideline of improv I want you to know about is your intuition will guide you in the right direction. So here we are, I've got 2 strips, they're not the same length, so I'm just gonna chop the one down and take them to the sewing machine. The third guideline of improv that I want to tell you about is that the magic is in the surprises. Sometimes you're going to be surprised by the way a seam changes as you sew it, by the way a little bit of a curve develops, by the way that 2 fabrics interact. So don't feel like you have to keep really tight control over everything. It's going to develop in a really beautiful way.
I have all these fabric scraps. There's a way to use up your scraps to make beautiful patchwork pieces without a pattern. And I'm going to show you how to make this unique and useful market tote made out of nothing but scraps.
Why am I teaching you to make a tote instead of a quilt? Well, I've got 2 reasons. One is I love carrying handmade things around with me out in the world, and that's a little weird for quilts. And the second reason is that a tote's a nice small project, and if you're trying a new technique, that's a great way to get started.